welcome to another episode of Not Too Deep. This one is very special. This was our live episode at SF Sketchfest with the one, the only, the queen goddess of digital content, someone that I've looked up to for years, Felicia Day. We also want to thank Twitch for the footage from the actual live recording of the podcast. This was so fun. Felicia's a mom, a mogul, and she's got the same hang-ups about her hair that I do. So enjoy this live episode from SF Sketchfest of Not Too Deep with Felicia Day.
Not too deep.
This episode of Not Too Deep is brought to you by the OkCupid dating app. OkCupid dating app is the only dating app that finds you someone based on who you are and what you're into. Answer fun questions and meet someone who shares your deep love or loathing of pineapple on pizza, or commiserate on your views of the current state of the world. The OkCupid dating app has awesome people like you who are into what you're into. Download the free OkCupid dating app today.
Not too deep. Not too deep. With Grace Helbig.
Hello, good evening. What time is it? Okay. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be very, very fun. You're at the Streamy award-winning podcast, Not Too Deep. Yeah, that's important, specific, and we're really proud of it. I'm going to be very upfront with you. I am aggressively hungover today. So it's nothing is different this episode, basically. This is a struggle bus today for all of us, and I'm glad that you guys are here to enjoy it, because it's a very, very, very fun episode of the Streamy award-winning podcast, Not Too Deep. Also, we're going to do things a little bit differently here. We're going to talk to our absolutely fabulous guest, and then we want you guys that are actually in-house with us tonight to participate. So if you have any questions stewing, brewing in your brain, continue them on the slow cooker until later on, and we will get to those. So stew and brew. Okay. I'm very thrilled to bring out someone that I've been insanely inspired by in my journey in the digital world, in my journey in becoming an independent woman, and just in general, someone that I think I got out of breath reading her Wikipedia page like an hour ago, and I was just reading it in my head, and I got very tired in my hotel room. I don't know. I mean, it's always kind of bullshit to give her a bunch of different like slash, but she's an American actress, a voice actress, a singer, a writer, a web series creator, and one of her greatest accolades of all time that I only learned today, and I cannot wait to get into this, is that she is one of the stars of Bring It On Again. Please give a round of applause for today's Not Too Deep guest, Felicia Day. Welcome.
Why?
It's on your Wikipedia. I'm allowed to ask. My Wikipedia says that I'm a pole vault medalist and that I did the Miss New Jersey pageant. So if I get that asked, you get that asked.
Are you really a pole vault champion?
One time I did it, and I was the only girl competing, so technically I won.
So you got a sexist medal for it?
Big time, but I took advantage of it. I looked around and I said, there's no other females. I think I can throw my legs up over that. Let's see what happens. And now it's on my Wikipedia page. So let's get to the core of where you've built your brand. Bring It On Again.
Okay, listen. That was such a long time. First of all, I think that was my first real job as an actor. And when I look back at my fashion, some of my worst. I had those aggressive, they were late 90s that I guess was bled over into the early 2000s because I just kept them, the chunky, you're a redhead, but then you think, this looks natural. Let's do an inch stripe of platinum here. And then it had that unfortunate flip out that was that. Yeah, it was like the Paige Davis Trading Spaces because I was 20 years younger than her. Clearly, that's who I needed to emulate.
Style icon Paige Davis
Yeah.
from TLC's Trading Places.
I mean, I always thought she was so peppy, but I see now the hate in her eye.
yeah.
If you watch a rerun.
Yeah, the going through it movements.
Yeah. Just
she-
going through it. Like, this is it. I was a musical theater major and this is it. I made it.
Also, so, okay, I want to get into so much stuff, and I'm sure you've been asked a billion times about a billion things because your career has a billion different just like notches to it. But one of the fun facts that we found was that your mom drove you to Ohio and surprised you with a Mouseketeers audition. Is that true?
That's true. It's from my bio. I mean, I did write truth in my biography.
Oh, see,
I did.
Teach me your ways.
No, my mom is a real kooky. She's a kooky lady.
Okay.
She's memorable. She would spend an hour.
I don't know if that's a great adjective for someone. You're memorable.
She definitely makes an impression. Like, if I ever run into anybody, it's like, oh, how's your mom? I'm like, I didn't know you know my mom. But thanks. She's the kind of person who will spend an hour at like the clinique counter learning, like counseling the woman who works there on her relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then you never see him again. I'm really glad you invested that time, Mom, but my brother and I are just sitting here.
Yes.
That was my childhood. So
That's
she
amazing.
really, I mean, she had the best of intentions, but I don't think she had the practical application of preparing a child.
Okay.
So she would just take me places like, we're going to go audition for the American Ballet Theater. I'm like, I just started doing ballet, Mom. I don't think you're setting me up for success right now.
How did she get you into these auditions?
You just register. Like, children can be just cattled out. I mean, you can audition for anything.
Oh, I guess if you just show up.
You just show up. They're like,
Okay.
you're on the list. I don't know. It's kind of like you get past the bouncer to get your child into some weird camp that you never actually send them into.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did the audition go?
It was not good. And that's
Okay.
why I, to this day, have an anxiety disorder around auditions.
Well, okay, speaking of mom, your newest, I think, profession is you're a mother now.
I mean, I don't get
Supposedly.
paid for it. So I don't know if it's
I know,
a profession.
That sucks. That's why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Until I can get just nonstop brand deals out of like something shoot down my cooter, I'm not doing it.
I mean, you could be that woman who's like, shows like little
Shows
Ashley,
no
like,
emotional connection to the thing that they made.
Yeah. You could do
Yeah.
that, or you could just be, I'm just using this as a way to reinvigorate my brand. Like,
Yeah.
you're a mommy blogger now. Just like exploit.
A scummy mommy vlogger. I don't think that genre exists right now. I could pave the way.
No, there are some scummy mommy blogs. Did you see there's one woman who was like, she put a picture of one of her children online and it was his birthday or something, and she's like, I don't forget the kid's name. It's like, little Logan, I love you so much, and it breaks my heart that you get fewer likes than my other two babies. You're just this is for real. This is for real. And it's like, she goes on. It's, you know, one of those Instagram posts where it's like a blog post with just under a child's smiling face where I'm like, I see the torment in your eyes, Logan. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
But she was like, basically like frustrated that he didn't get enough likes and that one day he would be demoralized by the fact that he got less social engagement than his siblings. This is a real authentic. So there are scum out there who have a coochie, scummy cooch. So I'm sorry. And that's why I only post like 2 pictures of my baby a year, because I'm like, I would love to make money off of you. I see the temptation. I would love to have free things just flood and like, oh, look, you got a new pair of shoes. But,
Oh man,
you know,
think of all the stuff that you could get sent from Jessica Alba.
she's not sent me anything.
Oh well, I'll DM her after this.
Thank you.
But what I was curious about, because and we talked about this a little bit before, what are your parameters in terms of like how much you post of your kid? Like, you are protective.
I mean, you know, it's not right for me to make her a vehicle of my own business in a sense. So I don't want to exploit her, but then I don't, it's a really hard balance because most of my day is I mean, I do have a nanny who takes care of her because I do work during the day, but I'm around her. I make sure to be around her. So, but in toto, I can't talk about the 6 hours of like Fallout I played anymore because that's child neglect. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, you just definitely talked about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are the good old days, Grace. I mean, so like, there's not like, if I don't talk about it at all, like, I don't know if I have anything left of myself, right?
Right.
So then, so I kind of like, And I want to share it because it's like amazing seeing a person like I can mold this person and oh my God, I'm molding this person. Like, but so it's kind of a balance. So what
I'm sure
I do,
it's also like a continuous learning curve.
always. And it's just now that she's becoming a real person, I'm even more like protective. Like I don't want to use her, but then I don't, I'm not like crazy about it. So I post a couple pictures of her a year, and as she gets older, I don't know if I'll do that anymore because I don't want her to be recognizable. Because I think when we start to see ourselves outside of ourselves through the other people's eyes, then you start to get stunted by their perception of you because nobody's going to see you the way that you see yourself and yourself.
Right. And
Does
I
that make
think
sense?
that 100% makes sense. Resonates so hard because it's not even about like nowadays like a parent putting a kid in front of a screen. It's like a kid will be on social media, which will also have that effect on them regardless. So do as much as you can now to keep them pure
Exactly.
and good.
I'm trying. She won't even grow up to be an evil scientist. I mean, an evil scientist would be cool.
That'd be
actually
fucking rad.
I would be cool with
Yeah.
her. Like plague. I mean, not a
plague?
harmful plague, but like a plague that.
You want her to grow up to be a plague?
No, I to like develop a plague, but like not a deadly plague. I don't want her to murder people, but maybe just like a weight loss plague.
Okay.
That's basically just.
We can continue brainstorming this.
Let's plot out her future, and then I'll and let her bloom.
Yeah. Is there any career path that you want her to stay away from? Like if she got into entertainment, if she got into gaming, if she got into comedy, like are there avenues that you're like, I'll let her do it, but I also feel a little uncomfortable with it?
I mean, Republican.
Yep.
I was literally thinking that the other day. Like, I really just want to be. I think my job is to allow her to grow up and find herself, and not unduly influence her. But of course, I'm going to expose her to board games way more than any other normal parent would be. And if she decides she likes sports, I will be disappointed, and I won't be able to hide that. But at the same time, like, I feel like my job is to allow her to flourish and encourage her and enable her, expose her to everything, and then reinforce what she likes. And
That's
I think
the healthiest perspective.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, listen, I'm going to screw up somehow, but I can at least have
You
good
guys heard it
intentions.
here first. So
Yeah.
the best of intentions. We'll see what happens.
Best intentions. So I feel like I would be disappointed if she became a Republican or a meth addict. I mean, both those two are bottom of the barrel. Anything else, I'm cool.
Sometimes. No, I think those are very healthy boundaries for your child.
Thank you.
Healthy. Let her know the disappointments early on. Okay, let's talk about your entire career.
Okay. Oh, digging in. Let's dig in. Well, I mean, we didn't even cover Bring It On again. I mean, that was a seminal piece of entertainment where I played a cheerleader a ballerina who was healed by chair. You know,
See, I only saw Bring It On. I didn't even see Bring It On again.
Oh, so you missed the Majesty.
That's what I'm like,
that was the direct-to-DVD sequel.
I don't want any spoilers.
All I remember is that I was sexually harassed by the director.
Oh,
in a bad. Well, okay, I don't want to get into it because that probably might expose me to a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So let's not talk about it more.
All right, straight to DVD. Let's talk about, well, one, we're on Twitch right now.
Oh,
That's right.
Hey.
Hi, Twitch.
who hates me? You do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is a question that I have for you. You stream on Twitch. It's something I'm not super familiar with, but you're also very well versed in a lot of social media platforms. And if you had to assign different social media platforms, different personality types, what would you say? Like Twitch and Instagram and Twitter?
Oh, so you want me to do all of them?
Just a couple.
I mean, Twitter. Oh God, Instagram is just it's. Oh boy,
Twitter's like a person that, like, no offense, Florida, but like, it's like Florida.
Really? You think it's Florida? Florida's so bad.
Well, Twitter to me is like Florida, like, has some cool moments, but then it fucks up, and then you're like, come on. What? Now you got toxic, and you're doing bath salts, but then you got Disney, so.
I mean, to me, Florida is totally like Vine. It's just dead, and it was always not a good place to go, and now that it's dead, it just still lives on somehow.
Okay, fair, very fair.
I mean, Twitch is like a sort of aggressive teenager who wears like a sneer, but then if you were nice to him, they might cry later.
Oh, yeah, that pretends they don't want like sensitive attention, but they secretly want to be acknowledged.
Yeah, exactly.
And taken care of.
Exactly.
That's my aesthetic.
That's your weakness?
Yeah, I also dress like I think most of Twitch users probably dress.
I went to TwitchCon this year, and you would fit in.
I wouldn't fit in?
You would fit in.
I would fit in?
No.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Cool. I'll bring my rollerblades. That'll be great. How would you describe Instagram? Like, what is in terms of social media, we talked a little bit about this before too, like, I feel a huge sense of burnout recently, and a lot of my like friends have felt a big sense of burnout just because we've been doing internet for like 10 plus years. Do you have platforms that you prefer over others, or do you kind of feel like I'm just doing it because it's part of my job?
I mean, I don't do that anymore. Like, my job is not digital anymore. I'm working, I work as an actor, and I'm working as a writer a lot in Hollywood. And the things that I'm working on are mostly writing and acting and producing.
Yeah.
So I don't, I'm not fully in the digital media space as much as I used to be, which I kind of miss. And that's why I stream weekly on Twitch. I started 5 years ago just for fun. And then because I loved it so much, I had my company start a Twitch channel, Geek and Sundry, and it became a real passion of mine. And when a couple of years ago, I just kind of am not there anymore at the company, but I still do it because that's my sort of life link to the internet. That and I do a little podcast called Felicitations, which is me just like in my office at night alone.
Yeah, you told me that you
once every
podcast
other
by
week.
yourself, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's by myself.
Because I talk out loud at my dog all day long.
That's basically what I do, except it's not my dog. It's just my imaginary friend, the internet, who literally will listen to whatever I say. It's great. So those are my two sort of life links. I mean, I love Twitter. I just am a writer, and I admire funny writing, and I love to get enraged about politics, which I'm always like rage retweeting, and then I'm like, stop. I look at my feed, I'm like, oh, you're awful. So just do a funny thing about a dog butt, and then just break it up,
Yeah.
Instagram is harder for me because I feel like the people I follow really, like, I'm not certain, but I believe most people have a professional photographer in their house.
I don't get it.
5 days out of the week. Like, I don't understand how they always have so many different looks and outfits and look so perfect.
Yep.
And I was never that person. I was always the person that had salad in their teeth, no matter how many people worked on them. Like, I never feel like I'm actually presentable. I went to Dry Bar, and all I can do is smell the stink of Dry Bar on my head right now.
She made me smell her hair backstage.
Yeah, I was like, smell this. It's too much. You branded me Dry Bar. It's like a cologne from a guy, and then you hug them, and then it's just on you for weeks.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing a hat, because I'm just full scum up here.
I'll just rub some Dry Bar on you. Let's just commingle our follicles.
I mean, it feels like, so one question that we had come in from Twitter a lot was, what do you prefer, or what feels more natural to you, writing versus acting? Is there one, is it just going kind of like they switch off here and there depending on what you're working on?
I love acting. I don't do it as much as I would like, but then of course, if I did more of it, I probably wouldn't like it anymore. I'm just kind of one of those people that can't focus. I don't like just doing one thing. I get very bored easily. And so I'm in the middle of 2 writing projects that are like 6-month projects. And like, I'm week 2 and I'm like, it's too long. Why is this so long? Like, delayed gratification was like ruined for me by the internet. So I think that, oh God, I've been working on for something 2 months. It's like 5 eternities. I think my child is 25 now. Like, that's what it feels like. So, I mean, I like having written, but the process of writing is, the more I force myself to do it, the more it becomes sort of a habit, which makes it easier. But like, getting into it is like, oh my God, it's so hard. I mean, I like acting because somebody else does my hair. Like, it is literally half my life is just, is this worth doing my hair for? No, I'm going to pass.
Yep.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
that's, my morning mantra. Is it worth making myself look less gross today?
Yes, it's true.
What is our end game today?
That's why I can't Instagram. I literally, we were talking about this. I'm like, I will agree to go to events just so I will force myself to look presentable so I have something on my feed. This is like not supposed to be what life ended up being, but it just is.
Here we are.
I know.
Here we are.
Glamour.
Not too deep.
This episode of Not Too Deep is brought to you by Mercari. Do you have a bunch of stuff lying around the house that you just don't use? A pair of jeans that was only worn once? An old phone hiding in a drawer somewhere? Mercari is an app you can use to sell all this stuff. They make it fast and easy to sell almost anything. Simply take a few pics of your stuff, add a description, and boom, your item is listed. Once it's sold, Mercari emails you a shipping label and you just send it off. No meetups with strangers, no hassles. With Mercari, you can sell everything from fashion to electronics and toys to sporting goods. Over 100,000 items get listed on Mercari every day. Earn an extra few dollars and clear up valuable space in your home with Mercari. The app has over 300,000 reviews on the App Store with an average 4.8 star rating. So why not give it a try? Don't let that stuff you don't use go to waste. Sell it, ship it, and get paid with Mercari. You can find Mercari on the App Store or on Mercari.com, Mercari. Mercari, the selling app.
Not too deep.
Zola is reinventing the wedding planning and registry experience to make the happiest moment in couples' lives even happier, combining compassionate customer service with modern tools and technology, all in the service of love. Zola is the easiest way to plan your wedding and register with free wedding websites, your dream wedding registry, affordable save the date and invitations, and easy to use planning tools. Start with a free wedding website. It takes just minutes to set up, and you can choose from over 100 beautiful designs that fit any style and every type of wedding. Put your Zola registry on your wedding website so guests can get all the details they need and buy your wedding gift in one convenient place. The Zola store has the widest selection of gifts at all different price points from over 500 brands. There's something for every guest to give. And I've had friends that have used this. It is a one-stop shop. It makes what is a stressful experience planning your wedding that much easier. So start your free wedding website and get $50 off your registry on Zola. Go to zola.com/grace. That's Zola, ZOLA.com/grace to get $50 off your registry today. Okay, I remember when you started Geek and Sundry, I was so inspired by that because I was kind of still figuring out my navigating YouTube and figuring out how my independence on that platform worked. And I thought it was just so cool what you're doing. And I was like, oh, maybe I should do something like that. And then the minute I started to think about it, I was like, you can't do that. There's no way. And so it just feels like such an overwhelmingly daunting sort of task to take on. What did you learn about starting and managing and selling a business of that size?
I mean, listen, it was a trial by fire. I burned to the skin. I was a little skeleton walking around. Actually, I was. I look at some of my videos and I'm like, whoa, you were skeleton. You do not look good that are anorexic. It was not a good look for me because I was so stressed out. I had you're burning the candle at both ends. Yeah, I burned out. I was trying to be personality and producer and writer and creator and everything. And it was just too much. It was way too much. It was a whole company. We had a slate of things and I wanted them all to look like TV. And we never had the bandwidth to do it covered. And then we weren't really supported in the way that I kind of thought that we were going to be because YouTube is so huge and we weren't prioritized over other things. And then you're just kind of dumping really high value content that we put so much work into, and then someone farting on camera is getting 10 times the views, and it's just I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, thanks, Grace.
Mean. Sorry.
I always admire what you were doing because not only were you an artist, you were a personality, you were alone. I was so jealous. I was look at her.
Yeah.
She's just freewheeling
by myself.
Look at her.
Yeah, it's really something to be jealous about.
It's less daunting than having a bunch of employees staring at you for leadership and why is this not working, or doing payroll,
puke. Gross.
It's so grody.
Yeah.
And then also just I don't know. I mean, I'm a perfectionist and I loved my company, but I put everything into it.
Would you go back and do it again?
I would love to redo it in a way that made it work better. I mean, for me better. I think what we did was amazing. I still, like you said, I built it up. I sold it. I think, there were a lot of mistakes along the way, but I think we did more good than bad. I mean, a lot of innovative things that we did, the Twitch channel I'm the most proud of. We built a really, really strong Twitch channel and started doing things before everybody, in certain areas that really, I miss those days when web video was like that.
Same. Yeah.
It's not really like that anymore. There's nothing out there. All my friends are in that business are unemployed or just in other fields. So it just kind of cratered.
Yeah.
It's sad.
We're all sad now.
We're all just sad. We're the people who were specialized in Victrolas. We're
Yeah.
There's no jobs for our expertise anymore.
Yeah.
So
That took me a second to realize what you said.
like
I
a
was
Victrola.
A Victrola
It's so
is a
weird.
music thing.
It's an old-timey. It's an old-timey music thing. Grace, here, let me wind it up and tell it for you.
Well, okay, that's the other thing too is anyone that has any music ability, any just natural sort of talent in that world, singing or playing an instrument, I am so jealous of because that's like a superpower that I wish I could have.
Really? But that would be what you would be like. If tomorrow somebody could gift you one gift, what would it be?
That I could sing really well, and also like an Amazon gift card.
I just literally thought of this because I've had insomnia for 2 years since my baby. She broke me.
Oh,
I think it's just like
this
hey,
is my favorite TED talk about why I should continue to not have a child.
yeah. I mean, I used to be a big sleeper and she broke me. Like she's sleeping now, but I can't sleep. I'm going crazy.
Oh man.
And I have gray hairs where I was like, where did those come from? It's this baby. I look at her, I'm like, this is your fault. But I think I used to be, my dream would be like learn languages like in an instant. Cause I want to be that person who somebody's talking trash about in French. And I'd be like, I'd be able to say like, drop it like I know your language. But I would love to just be able to close my eyes and sleep just on a dime. That would be my dream.
Yeah, that's actually a great superpower to be able to do. Yeah.
It doesn't help anybody but me.
It's selfish, of course, but
Yes.
no, but then you are a better human existing in the world. So
My face looks
ultimately you
better.
give back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better for everybody.
It's better for everybody. I know. That's what made me so mad. Any ex-boyfriend that I had, they all could sleep anywhere at any time.
What is it with men who could do that?
Fuck them.
I know. Was it because they're just tough loved? Like
I don't know, because they can compartmentalize and they don't worry about everything all the time, constantly. Fuck them.
Idiots.
Bunch of idiots. Okay, but knowing that you have musical prowess, what's your like go-to karaoke song?
You know, that
That's
one,
great.
Mr.
We have to bleep that out. We don't have the rights to that for this podcast. So it'll be
Can't
fun.
you used to use like one bar?
Sure, yeah, but I think it's all funnier to have just one long bleep,
Just like-
and
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
wonders,
Okay.
what the hell is she talking about?
Yep, that one.
That song was explicit. Whoa. You travel like crazy. I'm sure not as much anymore because you are in the world of motherhood now. But
Yeah.
I feel how many conventions do you think you've gone to at this point?
With my baby?
No, just in
I mean,
your life.
100 over, like probably 100. Yeah,
Really?
in my career. I mean, I still do them with my baby.
Oh,
And I travel with her all the time. She's a really good traveler.
That's great.
And although I took her to Europe, it was like supposed to be my
She's
quote
been to
unquote.
Europe already?
Yeah, she's a baby.
What the? Okay,
I know.
good for
I didn't
her.
even
Get
go
it.
until I was in my 20s, and I'm like, look at this life. You're just a princess.
You have to get our little teeny tiny passport.
Yeah, you have to get you have to get a baby passport. Also,
Yeah.
in order to fly with a baby even in your lap, they need a TSA card, or you can't use your TSA card.
What?
I got told on the border, like, if you bring this baby through here again without a card, I'm gonna take yours and rip it up. I literally got told that.
Whoa.
By a TSA official. Like I was trying to smuggle her in. I was like, she doesn't know how to get a card. She can't pass the interview.
That's
she doesn't
nuts.
talk. I had to fill it out, and they were like, name the baby's last 4 residents. I'm like, my womb? I'm not even joking. This is really what happens when you have a baby.
Did she have to take like a photo for?
Yeah, they did. I took them in for the interview, and I was like, are you going to interview her? And they're like, no, she's a baby. I'm like, duh. But they did take a picture. She takes a really good picture. Yeah.
I've seen your Instagram.
She's
she looks
really
great.
cute. I know. I should
I'm
exploit
so
her
jelly.
more.
I gotta get some tips on how to take a better like identification photo.
It's a Tyra Banks thing. You smize it.
Oh,
She has a whole article of like how to prepare for your DMV voter that I use every time I have to take a picture.
that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That article exists. No, I just look like bloated Kato Kalin in all of my IG photos. Just red faced and sweaty. That's me. But you've tried. Okay. Do you have a standout memory from a convention, good, weird, or otherwise?
I mean, I have a million of them. I think with my book, I devoted a whole chapter to them because they're so, like, they're just part of my world. Like, I built my whole business on on conventions. Like I started when I did Buffy.
Yep.
And I was like, this is amazing. People like me. Like I like to see people in person liking me. And it really, and I think that sort of fuel made me like digital media when I did it, when I started doing it. And then when I did my web series, I just loved it so much. I would show up to any convention and just hand out bookmarks that I had designed myself. And it was just like the characters were hanging off the bookmark. Like I didn't get the cut line, so half a face would be off. But I was like, I don't have money to print these up again. I would just stand on the corner and people would just literally trash it right in front of me. And I'm like, okay. But I just love it. And just it just reminds you that everything that we have in this world is due to one person liking what you like, right? And and anything you do is worth it if you can impact one other person. Yeah. Whereas sometimes you get caught up in like, how many numbers do I have? How many likes do I have? How many, you know, how much money am I? No, that's not really what counts. Like when you're making art or creating, it's how you affect yourself, and then it's sharing your worldview and making it impact somebody else, so it affects their worldview, right? So that's what I love about conventions. I mean, my highlight is when someone tattoos their body with my face. That's always a good one.
Excuse you? What? How many? This has happened more than once.
Probably 6 or 7 times at least.
Wow.
Really good.
What do you? Okay. Do you ever look at it and go, "Oh, I wish you used a different photo"?
I mean,
I was PMSing.
Usually they use me in a Codex outfit, so like I look like a badass, and it's not even my body, and my boobs are much bigger, so it looks excellent. Excellent. I've had some fan art, you know, like there's some people's fan art who like, I don't look like that, but listen, some of them make me look better. Some of them make me worse. I mean, it's just really a toss up. I can't draw a stick figure. So anything that anyone does is better than me. So
it's very, fan art is always very, very cool. Because I also am bad at drawing. So seeing that someone's just like artistically inclined, I'm like, that's cool.
But I feel like we could learn how to draw. Like an artist told me that the other day at a party. I was like, I can't draw. She was like a storyboard concept artist for Marvel. And she's like, she showed me her work. I'm like, I can't do that. She's like, I can show you. I'm like, really? Because I might move here. Are you promising me that if I relocate to San Francisco, you could teach me how to draw like you? Because I might just give up everything.
Yeah. That sounds great. We'll see what happens.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
I'll leave the baby.
You
learn
want
how to draw.
You want her?
Nope. 0%. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you've had a lot of people come up to you and it's very like overwhelming and wonderful and sweet and exciting. Have you had a fangirl moment or a missed opportunity of someone that you saw at an event, a convention that you're like, oh God, I can't even approach this scenario.
I saw Minnie Kaling at Dupar's Pancakes once, and I really felt like, given our Twitter provenance, we might have connected.
Okay.
But then I passed it up because for like 2 years before that, I followed her for 6 months and I kept adding her like with funny things. It was before the verified checks really like rose us to the top as co-patriots.
Yeah.
You know? So she never acknowledged me. And then it was almost like seeing her, I felt like betrayed by an ex. Even though she never probably didn't even know I exist.
I've been texting you.
I know.
Why have you
ghosted
back?
Me?
I think there's still time for you guys to create that bond. I think you should just continuously at her.
It always works with me and you, right? Like we always reinforce that. The more
100%.
persistent and annoying, especially in a group Twitter when they're like 40 people, they're trying, and then just continuous, like having a conversation. I just want to just go to their houses. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't.
It's fair. It's all fair. Okay. We were talking about Marie Kondo's show.
Oh yeah, we were.
Okay. You've just recently watched it and are inspired by it.
Yeah, I'm inspired and creeped out.
Okay.
I have read the book many years ago and I really love the concept of her. And she seems like a lovely person who's a germaphobe, doesn't want to touch anybody or anybody's things, right? She does. And then also men are pigs in this show. Like husbands are.
See, I haven't seen an episode yet.
Oh, okay. You got to watch it because.
Spoiler. Whoa.
Okay. Well, there's just the ones I only saw a couple. I'm still binging it, but the first one, especially this guy, you could just see on his face that he thinks his wife is just a lazy person because he's working 60 to 70 hours a week. Okay, really? Okay. And she's at home with the kids. And then literally this is what was so telling. Because anybody who doesn't have a child doesn't understand how stressful and horrible. And it's very much harder on women than it is men because just the baby is just so about you. At least my baby is just like, literally I leave the room and she's like, Mama, like, okay, I'm here. Yeah. It's so great to
disgusting.
have somebody want you that much, but kind of. But anyway, and so Marie Kondo asked them, do you, both of you work? And she says, well, I teach class a couple times a week. That's a part-time job.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm home with the 2 children who are under 4.
Wow.
And I'm like, so you're implying that that's not A, work, a job.
Right.
Or B, and you literally have 1.5 jobs, lady.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
underselling how much work you put into the world.
And then
every
it's
week.
obvious his attitude is that she's lazy.
Ew.
Like, it was such a dynamic that I just wanted to go in his face. But I think that's kind of common because you don't understand. Like
Yeah.
it is work. Like if
Yeah.
you got an hourly wage with we pay people hourly wages to take care of our children. Like,
Yep.
why would you not consider that a whole job, even to yourself?
Right.
Also, Marie Kondo, like I wanted to see like a container store hybrid where she literally brings in things to organize things in a cool manner.
Yeah.
She brought like 4 cardboard boxes and that's it, right?
No.
She's like, here, this is what could help you with your utensil drawer. I'm like, this is just something that you got sent. Somebody sent you something in this box and you brought it for them to organize with. Like, this is not even a thing. Nobody here watched this clearly because this is so universal right now. If you watched it.
Drag her. She's a huge fan of the podcast. She'll hear it directly.
Oh, I hope so. No, I'm just saying that I just expected her to be a little more hands-on. But
Sure.
she doesn't even speak English that very well, so it's through a
Okay.
translator. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
interesting. Now you sold me. I really want to see the show now.
I think you're gonna be able to have a lot of
Yeah, I did.
fertile discussion about it later
I
in your
read
life.
the first book a couple years ago.
It's great.
Came back from an international trip and then dumped all of my clothes in my living room and then got sad and nothing sparked joy.
Nothing at all. Did you just
Well,
literally
this-
just go? Pfft?
It all just got stressful. And I was like, I don't even know what joy feels like now. I don't
Well.
know if, and then I'm left with clothes like this. So, but I'm fascinated by it. Is there any other shows that you're obsessed with right now?
I mean, I love the new She-Ra.
Okay.
If anybody's watched that, right?
Heck yeah.
It's incredible. It's so good. And what else have I watched? I mean, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey obsessively for the last 3 months. It's so good.
What's the best part of it?
It's ancient Greece, and it's like you get to play this because I'm playing the woman character, Cassandra, who's like cut as F.
Whoa, cool.
She is cut. She's got like whenever she's like flexing her bicep, it has scars on it. I'm like, you are sexy. And there's so much like romance, and you can romance option mostly women for I guess.
What?
So it's like just this lesbian Greek Odyssey of sneaking around, stabbing people in the nads, and just making love to AI women. And I'm just like, this is like a perfect game.
What?
I don't understand it.
Okay. I thought video games were very different. I think I've been missing out. To do when we get
it's really
home.
good. It's really, really good. And I play competently now because my stream, I think they just love me, but they were like, okay, let's get you trained up because I'm sick of you dying because you're on easy mode. Why are you dying so much? So finally, like I've reached the point where I'm semi-competent and I feel just this sense of like, oh my God, I snuck in there, murdered somebody, stole the heart, and I got out without anybody having to murder extra people. I'm amazing. Like my self-esteem is soaring.
That's what a mother sounds like. That quote right there.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. I'm such a terrible gamer, but I enjoy the camaraderie of the discussion that happens during gaming. Do you play?
Oh yeah. You mean like the smack talk?
Yeah, I love getting asked to show my tits constantly.
Oh, got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. That's the whole mentality I never understood about game. Like, it's not I mean, I guess it's a sport in some ways, but then
Sure.
people can also game and be bad at it. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we should all be okay with that. Because it's a hobby. Like, unless you're making a living. Like, there's 2 grades of it now, especially.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever. Let's just enjoy what we wanted to enjoy. We're all fucking dying right now.
Hell yeah!
Like, we're a finite
that's the
number
most
of
aspirational thing I've ever heard. We're all
Like-
gonna die someday. So
Let's have
that's-
some perspective, guys. All right.
Not too deep.
This This episode of Not Too Deep is brought to you by Pvolve. Ever finish a workout feeling sore, too exhausted to function? Not with Pvolve. They are the opposite of a grueling, high-impact, painful workout. It's a completely science-backed method based on mastering precise movements that activate hard-to-reach muscles to create beautiful, natural muscle tone in less time using less energy. Stream workouts ranging from 15 to 60 minutes with new classes each week on the Pvolve app or online. Shape calls Pvolve the burn so good workout that the Victoria's Secret angels swear by. Download the app, watch tutorials, and see dozens of before and after pictures. Then try Pvolve free for 1 month. Get 50% off the premium Pvolve equipment kit at pvolve.com/grace. This is the best deal they have anywhere. Get a free trial for 1 month and 50% off the premium Pvolve equipment kit at pvolve.com/grace. That's pvolve.com/grace. Okay, we're going to get to some of your questions if you guys have them in a second. We're going to get into some Twitter questions right now, but then
There were a lot of them. I was like,
there's
whoa.
a ton. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you the 2 questions. Ask every single guest that is on the podcast, the Streamy award-winning podcast, Not Too Deep.
Is there a Streamy a category for podcasts?
Yep, and we won it. Don't know why, don't know how, but we won it. Was I there to accept the award? No.
Oh, what fun.
Yeah. Okay, here. So the questions that I ask every single guest that's on the podcast is, first of all, who, alive or dead, would you most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Cold spaghetti? Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. I mean, Marie Antoinette.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Marie Kondo. And I was like, we're back at this?
No. I mean...
that was a very immediate answer.
I don't know. I've been reading. I was listening to this Revolutions podcast about the French Revolution, and she just came to mind because she seemed like a kind of a dipshit.
Okay.
But royalty always. It's not like they're qualified, right?
Right.
They're just kind of there, right?
Yep.
Even though I love Meghan Markle, for the record, if I literally it torments me that I didn't audition enough to be able to become friends with her now that and then be friends with her now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, retrospectively, I'm like, we could have really gotten along, but then in reality, I'm not cool enough to have been her friend.
I just wanted to go to the royal wedding.
Yeah.
That would have been cool as heck. Serena Williams was there.
I know. Well, her whole girl gang is just incredible. Yeah. And I know a couple of them, so I felt like 2 steps away.
Yeah.
I was there in spirit. It was better than Mindy Kaling. I feel like we'd have a better relationship than Mindy Kaling. There's less baggage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. There's less Twitter history that you have to delete.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the other question I ask every single guest that's on the podcast is to tell us your worst pants shitting story or close call, but you can only use 3 words or 3 small phrases. So, for instance, mine is college, jogging, front lawn. Okay. Yeah.
Mine is...
Whoa, you have it immediately. Yay.
C-section, afterbirth, curry.
Well, that honestly eliminates like 20 of the Twitter questions I had for you because so many people wanted to know if you shit your pants while you gave birth.
I didn't. I had a C-section. So I thought I was protected. And then it was the hubris. It was the hubris involved that
Don't
caused
know what that
it.
is.
Well, after you give birth, you become so constipated.
All right.
Did you know that?
No, but John Green is the first person that educated me that women shit all over the place when they give birth.
Oh, you didn't know that? That's why you don't want to do a water tub birth, because literally you can poop on your baby. Like, I think a lot of people do this successfully without pooping on their baby, but there is the risk that you poop on your baby and then they have to go to the ER because they have poop in their face.
Okay.
Right? So
I'm going to rename this podcast Birth Control.
Yeah. But anyway, I took too many. So basically, the thing you do not want to do is become constipated. So basically, you take Colace, stool softeners, to make sure everything's working down there.
Okay.
But then I took too many.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
A cautionary tale. Wow. All right. Very cool.
Did you not really want a story?
I love stories.
I feel like you're really backing off. Like, most people are jovial and make it up. Like, that was a real poop story.
I think. Wait, you think I'm backing off of a poop story? Girl. I've heard so many 3-word poop stories in the last 6 years of my life. I welcome it with open bowels. Okay, here are some Twitter questions. Let's see. She has played so many beloved characters. What would be the most epic script written for her? What would it be about?
I, at this point in my life, would love to play a spinster librarian who has 7 cats, who gets transported to a magical realm and becomes a sword fighter and saves a whole nation with her sword fighting ability.
Okay.
Is that cool? Can we do that?
I mean, that was wildly specific. I think we can do that.
It feels like it's like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
But with more bloodshed. That's basically what I'd like to do. Let's make it a Christmas one. Let's just make it Christmas.
Everyone loves
a good Christmas movie, right?
Spinster librarian that becomes a hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the sword.
Of the sword. Okay, someone said years ago I had a UCB improv class with Felicia and always wanted to ask when was the quote "F it, I'll make my own shit" moment.
UCB meaning the place that I took 101 3 to 4 times, but then I never quite finished it, so I just kept going back until everyone was so young that it felt like I was inappropriately in that class again.
I think it was the other place.
Okay, the other place. That's really cool. I did it because I was in this a self-help group with some other women because we were all sad about our careers, and because they kept showing up with like wins every week and I was just playing World of Warcraft all the time. I felt like I should just get off my ass and do something so I wouldn't feel shame at pancakes that week. So that's why I started writing a script. And then one of the women there started doing videos when YouTube just started. And she was like, let's just make this for the web because nobody cares about your scripts. Oh. And I think about that whenever I've written a lot of scripts and then, managers or Hollywood are like, this is shit. But I realized they said that about the Guild too. So it's not like what I'm writing is terrible. It's just not right for them right now. Yeah. But the Guild was not right for them. And I did something with that and I made my whole career off of it. Yeah. So I can't get down on my own abilities. I can just keep going. And if I want to play the game of pleasing them, that's a whole different kind of writing perhaps than like the writing I want to do. And I guess that's the whole...
that's totally valid though, because it's not so much solely based on skill set. It's a lot timing. Yeah. A lot of it is timing. A lot of it is someone just in the right moment saying, oh yeah, that appeals to me, and giving you a yes. Or giving
exactly.
You a green light.
As long as you're just making stuff that either you're catering to that or you're catering to your own soul, and you can't get offended when you're rejected because it's just not right for somebody else, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's hard to do because I'm like, this piece of brilliance, like you feel like you just get so enraged. You're like, this is the most beautiful thing ever put on paper. Why are you such a fool?
Yeah.
But
that's how I end every pitch meeting I have.
You really do?
Why are you all such fools? And then smoke bombing them out.
Oh my God. Can you do that?
No, you don't get invited back.
Okay.
Someone wants to know, if you could be a celebrity's dog, whose would you be?
I feel like, well, that's a hard one. I feel like maybe Kim Kardashian, because I just feel like I want to know what people like that live like.
Yeah. I want to see firsthand them shake their salads up.
Do they shake salads?
Yeah, that's like all they do. They sit and stare at each other on like giant sofas, and then they shake
Forget
their
it. I want to be with
salads.
Oprah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
She's getting some shit done.
Yeah. She's always gardening. She's always presenting avocados.
Really?
Her Instagram's fantastic.
I don't follow any celebrities on Instagram.
You don't?
I only follow people I know on Instagram.
I was going to ask you, is there anyone that you like social media stalk at all other than Mindy Kaling, obviously?
I mean, Mindy Kaling for a time on Twitter. Yeah. There are a couple of like...
well, I was giving you the information about Britney Spears' gold mine of an Instagram account.
I know, and I should follow her. I know I don't follow... For some reason, I started my Instagram like when it first started, and I was just like, Twitter's like the public face. Instagram is only my... So I follow very few people on Instagram, and when I do, I just start to become so demoralized. For some reason, the pictures are more demoralizing because I'm comparing myself to other people, especially their thighs or like their hair. It all comes back to hair, really.
Yeah. I'm like, do we need to go wash your hair?
No, I just, in my heart, I want just like a pixie cut. But when I've done that in my past, I'd never work as an actress for like a year and a half until it grows out to a bob. Like for real. Whoa. I will not work for a year and a half until it is there, and it's like suddenly I'm good again. Like it's so weird. So like I can't do it until I'm ready to just hang it all up, which could be soon.
I know, we were talking about this backstage. You and I are both barely hanging on right now.
We really are. I think we're like getting into that midlife crisis. We're just like, I don't know. I think I might open just like a fruit stand in Peru.
Yeah, I keep saying, what day am I going to run into the woods and make scarves out of tree bark and sell it on Etsy? It's a viable backup plan. Upcycle. Someone wants to know, what's the last thing that happened that made you laugh so hard you cried?
Wow. Ooh. God, that's a really, I don't know. I can't, I mean,
We can come back to
I
that.
got a unicorn skin in Assassin's Creed the other night, and I literally was so happy. I started just like, I started doing that for a little bit, and I got a lot of subscriptions
There you go.
out of that.
You just figured out a new branding for yourself.
It was funny. Like, I donate all that to charity, but I don't know what it was. I mean, it must be something my kid did. It is usually when she's a smart ass, she's like, no, we're not going to do that. And she just started putting words together.
Yeah.
So when she says something precocious, like, come on, man, like she doesn't understand it, that's when I think I'm like, oh, she's adorable. Like,
See, that would scare me.
really?
Yeah, a kid that is that confident that I'd be like, all right, sorry, Jesus. Okay. Okay, I think we have, we're coming towards the end of the podcast, but I want to open up to you guys that are here in the audience. If anyone has any questions, don't feel shy or awkward, but maybe feel both of those things at the same time. And if you don't have any questions, I got a million more Twitter questions asking about her shitting giving birth. So anyone.
I didn't shit when I gave birth. I literally made an appointment and they cut me open. They took the baby out. It was the most humane thing ever. Like I literally had to pick her birthday, which was stupid because I could have picked like a cuss birthday between Capricorn and Aquarius, and I just picked full Aquarius.
Oh, so so she sucks?
I feel like her odds are less because Capricorns are a little more steady. Anyway, it's all bullshit.
Okay, if anyone has any questions, feel free. Raise your hand. We have a microphone that will come to you, and then it will be a very aggressive thing. Also, if you
Don't be so excited, you guys. This is like a magician at a magic show. People are like,
no, not me, not me, not me,
No,
not
don't
me.
pick on me.
Yeah.
don't do it.
You also don't have to have any questions. You guys all fucking stoned. What's going on?
It's San Francisco.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all high on artisan coffee.
Oh,
right?
I thought that was
Or Odyssey.
a strand of weed. Go ahead.
Oh, we got one.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hey, I had a question in that how important is it for you guys to make your own creative content just for yourself? Since you're already in entertainment, you know, it could be like a weird type of thing, but
Sure. I mean, for me, it's a great balance because I hate auditioning. I hate going in, especially for parts that I don't really relate to, but I feel obligated to go and try to do because of the agents and managers and that sort of thing. So I think it's always been very nice and has in my past been very relieving to know when I leave the audition, I have the internet there and I get the freedom to make whatever I want without any gatekeepers. But it's a balance. But now I've been doing it for so long that I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
I gotta figure out a new way to like this again. So maybe I'll go audition for a bunch and then hate that enough that I like
you
the
have to
internet
do the
again.
other thing. Like, oh, it wasn't so bad. Business wasn't so bad. Why did you
Right.
leave that? That was, I mean, then you're like, should I go back to that? No, because you complained a lot there. But do
Yeah.
you not complain anywhere? Nowhere. I think it's really important for everybody to express their creativity. I feel like I'm a big believer in just everybody is creative and needs to have their voice heard in this world. I think it's really important because it's the only chance you get to have your voice heard. Like everyone's unique and we all see the world in a different way. And if we don't express that, then we'll never affect anybody else who will then go on to affect other people. It's really our way of just getting in the gumbo, you know? And so whenever I feel really frustrated, I know that I love the fact that there's always an outlet to do something that's a little odd or a little small. And anything I've ever done, even if the fancy stuff is what people admire, like Supernatural or like any of the TV shows that I've done, but the thing that I will always cherish the most are the things that I did that kind of defied people's expectations and really represented me in a pure way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's kind of what, if that's where your greatest satisfaction is, I think that's where you should probably at least always invest a little time.
Yeah, I also think, and tell me if you feel this way, it helps me feel less alone. Like if I tell a story or if I express something that someone else says, I relate to that, I get what you're saying, then it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now we don't feel alone in this, and maybe this kind of like this creates new connections in terms of like just personal experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's more universality, especially with things that make you feel more alone. Like with my book, a lot of people responded to it because I talk a lot about mental health and depression and anxiety and all sorts of things you have to overcome in order to create and exist as a person. And when people say, hey, that really resonated with me and it made me go do X, like that's very important. And it also makes me feel like in the process of sharing that, I'm discovering things about myself and exposing them, knowing that, I am not alone in the experience that I'm having. Totally. So I think that's really important. And we can't grow from other people unless others are sharing those. I think we'd find if everybody were as open and transparent about their lives that we'd all have way more in common than we don't. But a lot of people try to manufacture image and brand and things like that from the outside, or they get trapped in something that people see them as, and then they aren't allowed to grow past that. Mm-hmm. I've had that in my career a lot. Like I became like this to some people, and then when I did something different, they feel like betrayed or something. And we're all constantly flowing through life and changing and growing. And if we're not, we're stunting ourselves. And sometimes you have to be willing to let go of things in the past to move on, to find out what else you could be. But it's hard to look at that as a positive when you're risking so much and moving on in life. So I just got really philosophical.
Well, you made this fucking deep. Jesus, fuck. That you had one job.
I'm so
keep
sorry.
It not deep.
I shit myself as well in 19.
Hey, we're back, baby. Are there any other questions out there? Because we've reached basically like the end of the podcast, and Felicia's got to get to the airport, and I don't want to.
I'm sorry, I can't. I would love to say hi to anybody who came for me. Probably nobody, but I have to go to the airport immediately. So,
well, we usually end the podcast with a fortune cookie that is, specifically and uniquely designed for our guest. However, my Not Bred for Survival director-producer was not able to bring that with him.
Why don't you just give me some lotto ticket numbers, and then somebody can run those, and if they win, they can give me half. Okay?
Yeah, here we go. 6969. It's a winner every time.
That's 4 people just giving each other oral sex? Is that what happens on the weekends?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Felicia, what can people be excited about? What are you up to? What can you talk about? And where can people find you if they don't already know?
Okay. 1, you can watch me streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Felicia Day. I do it every Saturday night. So if you're like me with no life, come hang out. Sometimes on Fridays. I also have my own podcast called Felicitations. It's every 2 weeks. It's very loose, not like this, or actual efforts put into it, but come on over. I'm doing a new podcast. It's an improv science fiction podcast. It's really funny. It has Colton Brown and Janet Varney and Steve Berg, and we're traveling through space as incompetent people. It's called Voyage to the Stars, and that's out next month. And you can watch me on Mystery Science Theater on Netflix. I am in the new season, and hopefully we have another season. I don't know, maybe coming, hopefully. But the last one is really good, so please watch it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here and making time. And thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you guys next time. Another episode of Not Too Deep. Goodbye. Bye.
Too deep, too deep, too deep. Not too deep with Grace Helbig.
This episode of Not Too Deep was brought to you by Mercari. Mercari is the selling app that makes it fast and easy to sell almost anything. Just take a few pics, add a description, and boom, your item is listed. With buyers in all 50 states, stuff really sells and everything ships easily, so there are never any awkward meetups. You can find Mercari on the app stores or on Mercari.com. That's Mercari, Mercari.
Not too deep.
This episode of Not Too Deep was brought to you by P-Volve, a completely science-backed workout method based on mastering precise movements to create beautiful muscle tone in less time using less energy. Download the app, watch tutorials, and see dozens of before and after pictures. Then try P-Volve free for 1 month and get 50% off the premium P-Volve equipment kit at pvolve.com/grace. This is the best deal they have anywhere. Get a free trial for 1 month and 50% off the premium P-Volve equipment kit at pvolve.com/grace. pvolve.com/grace.